piece I've been wanting to do for a bit because it was written, Melanie DeMore wrote it after the 2016 election, the first Trump one, and I think it remains very relevant and powerful for us today. So the chorus, you are welcome to join in on. When it gets to the verses, there'll be sort of a call and response thing going on. You'll sing the stuff that's in the brackets. Just repeat whatever I do. It'll be fun. And this is a good one with some clapping, so I'm going to start with a clap. Oh, wait, sorry. I got to think for a second. One. All right. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared, and I'm scared too, but here I am, right next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love and lead with love. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Is everybody awake? I'm Chuck Shields. I'm with the board, and I have a few announcements from the board. Maury Provo, our first U team captain for the Tulipathon, would like to share some information about today's Tulipathon fundraiser for the Multi-Faith Housing Initiative, which builds and maintains affordable housing here in Ottawa. FirstU is a longtime member and supporter of MHI and Tulipathon. 100% of the Tulipathon proceeds go to rent subsidies for tenants at MHI properties. There's a link in the EUU newsletter for making online donations to the Tulipathon in support of our FirstU team or its members. People wishing to join the team for the walk or to donate by cash or check should see Maury after today's service. He'll be at the back of the worship hall near the welcome table. I don't know if Maury is around to wave a hand. Here he is. You'll see him up front here later on in the service. You'll recognize who he is. And as of this morning, we've raised $1,840 towards our goal of $2,500. Thanks to all who have donated so far, it will still be possible to donate for another 2 to 3 weeks. So it's a very busy time of year. August is when we celebrate Pride here at FirstU and in Ottawa. The UU Pride Social and Support Network is back as well. For anyone interested in helping plan our Pride involvement this year, a meeting will be held this evening from 6 to 7 over Zoom. Those identifying as part of the 2S LGBTQ+ community and allies and accomplices are welcome and encouraged to participate. Following the Pride involvement planning session, there'll be a gathering of the UU Pride Social and Support Group starting at 7. That also will be on Zoom. This group is for anyone who identifies as part of the 2S LGBTQ+ community. please email diversity@firstunitarianottawa.ca to get the link for either Pride Planning or the UU Pride group. It's not too late. You also can talk with Nina Strang following the service in Fellowship Hall, and Nina is here waving in the front. Child Haven is the charity founded by our own Bonnie and Fred Cappuccino. They're holding their 40th anniversary gala dinner on Saturday, June 14th, starting at 5 p.m. in the Richelieu-Vanier Community Center. Tickets are $60. Join Bonnie and Fred to celebrate the wonderful work of Child Haven, which provides support to formerly destitute women and children in Bangladesh, India, and Nepal. And as part of its celebrations, enjoy a delicious meal and the opportunity to bid on a range of intriguing silent auction items. To purchase tickets, see the notice in the EUU or visit the Child Haven website at www.childhaven.ca. Also, after service, Phil and Ann Nagy will be in Fellowship Hall and happy to speak to you about Child Haven and the gala. And Phil and Ann are right over here waving their hands so you can see who they are. One of FirstU's ongoing justice actions has been supporting Dr. Hassan Diab, who was extradited to France in 2014 on highly questionable grounds and was released in 2018, but is at risk of being extradited again. With the new federal government in place, there is a postcard campaign urging Prime Minister Carney and his government to reform Canada's extradition action and ensure that Dr. Diab is not extradited again. You can find the postcards on table at the back of Fellowship Hall. You can find more information in the UU and at www.justiceforhassandiab.org. And Unitarian House is hosting an evening of fine dining and philanthropy this coming Thursday evening, May 29th, 6 p.m. for cocktails, 7 o'clock for dinner, to support their finance assistance program to assist low-income residents. The keynote speaker is the Honorable Janice Charette, former clerk of the Privy Council, Secretary to Cabinet, and more recently one of those assisting Mark Carney's transition. More info and tickets are available on the EUU and on the UHO website, that's Unitarian House Ottawa website. And on Wednesday, June 4th, we here at FirstU are again hosting Maury Prevost and the Beacon Street Concert Band for a fun and broad-ranging musical concert to benefit the FirstU Food Security Program. Admission is by donation. Last December, we raised over $600 when the Beacon Band performed, and we hope to do even better this time. Refreshments at 6:30, concert at 7, reception to follow. A concert sandwiched by receptions. See the EUU or posters on the table at the back for more information. And finally, following the service today, join us for the bi-weekly conversation about themes and insights from the morning service. Grab some food from Fellowship Hall, then join us in the lounge. Lounge is through the doors here to my right, your left, for the conversation which begins at 11:45. Coffee will be available in the lounge. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Chuck. Bonjour tout le monde. Welcome everyone to the First Unitarian Congregation in Ottawa. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or watching from wherever you may be, know that you are welcome here. I'm the Reverend Eric Meter, this congregation's lead minister.
Good morning, and I'm Lee, your worship associate today. We acknowledge that our FirstU campus is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin Anishinaabe territory, and that the work of reconciliation is the responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Our goal is to educate ourselves and all those that have the willingness to understand, to be of service to those who are at risk, and to advocate for justice. Let's join our voices in song once more. Please rise and body your spirit as Jen leads us in singing Sia Hamba, which you'll find is number 1030 in your teal hymnal. Their lyrics will also be on the screen above. If you're new to FirstU and would like to learn more about us, please contact us through our email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. And if you're right here in Worship Hall with us this morning and would like more information about FirstU, it's available at the welcome table at the back of the pews. We encourage you to sign up to receive the EUU, our weekly email newsletter. Sign-up information is available on our website under the EUU Weekly Newsletter tab, and you can access the EUU on our website or by using the QR code on the back of our printed program. Check our Facebook and Instagram pages, as well as our website, for notices and updates. Our calendar is as full as ever, and some of our activities take place online. This morning, each of us is welcome. We of any heritage or faith, whatever our burdens, of any culture or race, of any gender or orientation, in any body, all that we are. Today we are all part of this spiritual community.
This morning, instead of our new tradition of social justice share the plate offerings on the last Sunday of the month, we will devote our offering to the work of our denomination, the Canadian Unitarian Council. Several of our members who have recently been active in the CUC will join me in sharing thoughts on their efforts and what they've learned with the CUC along the way. So this morning, our collection will be dedicated with 100% of all unidentified donations going to support the work of the CUC through its Sharing the Faith Fund. And to begin our morning's reflection on belonging to something larger than ourselves, we light our chalice this morning to these words by Kimberly Ann Tomzak Carlson. It is not by chance that you arrived here today. You have been looking for something larger than yourself. Inside you, there is a yearning, a calling, a hope for more, a desire for a place of belonging and caring. Through your struggles, someone or someones nurtured you into being, instilling a belief in a shared purpose, a common yet precious resource that belongs to all of us when we share. And so you began seeking a beloved community, a people that does not put fences around love, a community that holds its arms open to all the possibilities of love, a heart home to nourish your soul and share your gifts. This morning, welcome home. Is there someone who would like to light our chalice? Come on. You can help. All right. Our chalice is lit. Come, let us worship together as we begin by singing our beloved chalice song. Jen? Joe, do you have a story for us?
Good morning, everyone.
Yay.
Good morning, everyone. I am Jody McIntosh, the Director of Religious Exploration, and I invite anyone young or young at heart to come on down for my story this morning. So before I tell my story, I'll tell a story about finding the story. So sometimes I find the perfect story, and other times I find a story that's almost right. So this morning, I found a story that was almost right, and that was You Belong Here by H.M. Clark. But it wasn't quite right. So I wrote my own story called You Belong Here in This Sacred Place. And it uses kind of the same concept as You Belong. So if you're interested, you can look up this book. It's a very sweet book. You can find it on YouTube and other places. But I'm going to share my story with you this morning. So you belong here in this sacred place by me, Jody McIntosh. And it's only going to just be up on the slides. So trees belong in the forest nest, where their green canopy offers rest. The fish and the whales, they belong in the sea. Don't forget about the otters and the manatee. Birds belong flying high in the sky. Look up to see them as they gracefully fly by. And you belong in this sacred place, where love and acceptance will fill every space. Together we learn, together we share. In this community, we show that we care. Stars belong in the sky at night, twinkling softly with their silver light. Flowers belong in the garden bed, blossoming pink, white, and red. Mountains belong where the eagles soar, standing tall with secrets and lore. And you, all of you, my friends, you belong in this sacred place, where love and acceptance will fill every space. Together we learn, together we share. In this community, we show that we care. Honeybees belong in the hive, buzzing with joy where they work and they thrive. Tadpoles and frogs, they belong in the stream, where they splash and they leap in a watery dream. Snowflakes belong in the winter air, drifting down without a care. And for this one, can everyone help me? All the grown-ups in the room. And you belong here in this sacred place, where love and acceptance fill every space. Together we learn, together we share. In this community, we show that we care. Mushrooms belong in the damp, dark shade, sprouting quietly in a hidden glade. Butterflies belong in the meadow bright, fluttering gracefully, a beautiful sight. Coral reefs belong in the ocean's deep, a vibrant world where sea creatures sleep. And you belong here in this sacred place, forever welcome with joy and peace and grace. Within these walls, true acceptance you'll find, a loving haven for your heart and for your mind. Thank you very much. We have a very small group of children this morning, so we are all going to be in the Rainbow Room in room 4. So that's where parents will find us after. Let's sing our children on our way.
Each week we pause in our time together in recognitions of the joys and sorrows in our lives and those across the globe. We honor our celebrations and challenges by placing stones in bowls of water. As the ripples extend outward, imagine them continuing out beyond these small bowls, out through and past our pews, out into the larger community of all. The rains have done their work. We are once again in the great green north. The tulips are on display. This is Ottawa at its best. Yet sadly, there was another ambush in the Oval Office this week, and talks in Turkey while prisoners are swapped and missiles rain down on Kyiv once again. Against this background, we live our lives. Please come forward, if you would now, to honor your joys and sorrows by placing stones in these bowls of water. That last stone, as always, represents all that remains in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. There are no carrying cards for us this morning. We will enter now into a time of stillness and reflection, and after several moments, Jen will bring us back together through the gift of music.
This morning's reading is Belonging by Rosemary Watola-Trommer. And if it's true we are alone together, the way blades of grass are alone, but exist as a field. Sometimes I feel it, the green fuse that ignites us, the wild thrum that unites us, an inner hum that reminds us of our shared humanity. Just as 35 trillion red blood cells join in one body to become one blood, just as 136,000 notes make up one symphony. Alone as we are, our small voices weave into the one big conversation. Our actions are essential to the one infinite story of what it is to be alive. When we feel alone, we belong to the grand communion of those who sometimes feel alone. We are the dust that hopes, a rising of dust, a thrill of dust, the dust that dances in the light with all other dust, the dust that makes the world.
Thank you, Lee. The dust that dances in the light with all other dust, the dust that makes the world. Denominations are funny things, and in the Unitarian perspective, perhaps more so than most. Here in Canada, we Unitarians have an office in the Greater Toronto area. We have no St. Peter's Basilica. We have no holy spires, save the one above us. For most of us, the Canadian Unitarian Council is an invisible thing, and yet its works shape almost every moment of our gatherings. This morning we'll hear from four of us, myself, Chuck Shields, Guy Belperche, and Maury Prevost, about our experience with the Canadian Unitarian Council, how it has shaped us, how it has shaped this space. Chuck?
Thank you, Reverend Eric, and good morning again, everyone. I'm going to start off by saying a few words about the Canadian Unitarian Council, or CUC, and a few words about the Sharing Our Faith Fund, which is, as Reverend Eric said earlier, one of the main purposes of the service today is to gather funds that can be then used to support other UU congregations and bodies across the country. So the Canadian Unitarian Council, and I would say the name is Unitarian, but it is very much aware and conscious of being Unitarian Universalist. The Canadian Unitarian Council is the body that gathers together and gives voice to the 42 UU congregations and fellowships across the country. That's all the way from Halifax to Victoria. Together, we count about 4,500 members as UUs and many others who connect to our bodies. The CUC links those also with UU groups like Unicamp and the Unitarian Universalist Hysterical Society, which many of us belong to, and we are part of the nearly 300,000 across the world that are part of that. It's always a point of pride for me that that was created by a person in Saskatoon and with a lot of help from others. The CUC's mission is growing vital Unitarian Universalist communities. And how does it do that? I think there are four ways in particular that it does that. It supports, it links, It educates and it stimulates. The support it provides gives resources and assists congregation members in times of difficulty, including transitions between ministers. The CUC links in several ways. It has a website, it has a Facebook page, it provides forums for ongoing discussions. There's a leaders group, there's a forum for young adults, there's a online forum for people involved with different areas of congregational life. It conducts programming for young adults and youth. It sponsors the Shining Lights Award that focuses attention on congregation and fellowship achievements that might be shared with others across the country. It also educates UUs. It coordinates and encourages the offering high-speed, high-quality, progressive sexual health program, OWL. It hosts webinars on a range of subjects, and it conducts training for chaplains and others. The CUC also stimulates social justice. It builds national consensus on areas of potential action through the resolution process at annual meetings. It provides leadership on areas of chosen focus, and those have included leading the adoption and then support for the 8th principle, which is to dismantle racism and systemic barriers to full inclusion. It developed materials and encouraged congregations' involvement in truth, healing, and reconciliation. It serves as the agreement holder for many congregations' work with refugees. It intervened with the Supreme Court regarding medical assistance in dying, and it works to support climate justice. One of the practical actions it has is to support member congregations through the Sharing Our Faith Fund. This program invites applications from member congregations and groups and provides modest support in the range of $2,500 to $5,000 a year. The program supports projects that enhance ministry, growth, and outreach for congregations and for UU movement in Canada. It's designed to encourage a greater sense of community and connection among and between our member congregations and communities. Each year, this fund is renewed with money collected by congregations at special dedicated services like this one, and from a fund maintained by First Unitarian Congregation of Toronto. A committee reviews the applications and awards grants based on the amounts of funds available. Since its inception in 2001, the generosity of congregations has allowed the awarding of over $200,000 in grants. Each year, the program awards 2 to 7 grants, depending on the number of applicants and the amount of money of funds available. The grants are modest, in the range, as I said, of $2,500 to $5,000. Themes of recent grants have been for physical repairs or renovations of meeting spaces, electronic equipment to facilitate broadcasting services, and I know that became much greater area of need as during the COVID period as congregations look to transition to be able to continue providing services, and developing and offering programs. As Reverend Eric has said, today's offering will be provided to the CUC to support this program and grants for this year. So I think now I would like to turn things over to Guy, who has some thoughts to share as well from his involvement. Thank you.
Good morning. Some of you may notice my rainbow kitty shirt. It's not the first time I've worn it. I liken trying to lead UUs in a direction to herding cats, in this case, a rainbow coalition of cats, and I applaud the CUC for their efforts to lead us collectively. So this morning I speak to you in 3 capacities: as an active lay chaplain and a member of the CUC National Lay Chaplaincy Committee, as someone who is engaged with UUs across Canada through CUC workshops, as Chuck alluded to, and as the current chair of the UU Connections team here at FirstU. And although I am the current chair, I have to give full props to Maury, who did this job for many, many years before I. I really wish he was still doing it, but he'd done it long enough it was time to pass the torch, but he did an amazing job. I hope that many of you are aware of lay chaplaincy and of the fact that both Lisa Boulay and I are the current active lay chaplains for both FirstU Ottawa and the UU Fellowship. And Alex Campbell is here. He's one of our retired lay chaplains, and I don't know if Barb Armstrong is here as well. One of the lovely things about the lay chaplaincy community is it's incredibly supportive, which, given that it's a Unitarian Universalist community, is not at all surprising. What you may not know is that lay chaplaincy is a uniquely Canadian program, and it started way back in 1971, almost as old as me. Its aim was and is to train and support carefully chosen lay members of UU congregations. I don't know in my case about the carefully chosen, but we'll let that pass. To create and perform rites of passage such as weddings, memorial services, child dedications, and others for the general public, and for UUs in congregations without ministers. As some of you may be aware, we are blessed to have had either settled or interim or developmental ministers for all of the time that I've been here. But there are several congregations, including the Fellowship, where that is not the case. So they don't have the luxury of having a minister preside over any sort of rituals for their members, and the lay chaplain fills in for that. Lay chaplains represent UUism and their congregations in the wider community, and we're expected to serve in a manner that celebrates and dignifies the special occasions that they commemorate, adding spiritual depth to the lives of individuals and communities. And the CUC and the CUC National Lay Chaplaincy Committee ensure that chaplains are trained and certified, and that we provide opportunities for gathering and sharing, because as you might imagine, sometimes the work of being a lay chaplain can be both rewarding but exhausting, especially when you're dealing with the death of someone else's loved ones. It takes a toll, and it's a wonderful toll, and I'm personally very glad that I take it, but it's nice to be able to share that burden with others who understand. In my 21 years with this congregation, I have met some truly exceptional people. Leaders in education and social justice who have inspired me to be a better person and to step up. Some of them have passed on, sadly, but many others are alive, and many are in this room today. I'm happy to say that through my involvement with the CUC, and especially through the widening circle of concerns workshops that were launched as part of the 8th Principle discussions, I have met even more exceptional UUs from across Canada. Our participation in the CUC and CUC events allows us to engage with a wider group of like-minded individuals, to coordinate activities such as refugee support, as Chuck mentioned, and to increase our impact on social justice issues. To quote an oft-used analogy, the strength of a braided rope is much, much greater than the combined strength of individual strands. The CUC helps us to braid our efforts together. And finally, I speak to you as the current chair of the UU Connections team, a small group of dedicated people who try to promote CUC events within the congregation, our participation in CUC regional and national meetings and conferences, such as the wonderful national conference that happened 2 years ago, held mostly out at Algonquin, and a companion youth event that was held here at the church, and our participation within the wider UU movement. Today's service stems from a discussion that was had at a recent UU Connections meeting, and we're always happy to welcome new members. So if you would like to join or would like more information, please see me after the service or send me an email. Thank you. Reverend Derek. Actually, no, I think we now have an anthem.
We now have a musical interlude in our reflections today. This piece sung by Three Rivers for you today, Hope Lingers On, by Lissa Schneckenberger, an arrangement by Andrea Ramsey. is a special favorite piece of mine. It speaks to having hope and working together in community during dark times, and how we can hold on to that, and the importance of social justice and love and hope and approaching all of these things together. Perfect. All right. You all right?
Thank you, Three Rivers Singers. And Guy has asked me to lift up the Jan Glide is another former lay chaplain who's with us here today. Thank you. My involvement beyond our congregation or belonging to something larger began in the summer of 2006 when I and several others from FirstU, including John Emond, who's here today, participated in Cool School at Carleton University. COOL, or C-U**UL, was an acronym for Canadian Unitarian Universalist Leadership, and it was a multi-day leadership development program organized by the Canadian Unitarian Council. Over 20 people from FirstU benefited from this program until it ended around 2012. I'm wearing my Cool School t-shirt today. It says Inspiring the Future on it. For the rest of my reflection this morning, I'm going to focus on 3 ways that my sense of belonging to the CUC grew after Cool School. The first way was through attending CUC national conferences and regional gatherings, and being one of FirstU's voting delegates for various CUC annual meetings. The conferences included ones here in Ottawa in 2008, 2015, and 2023, when we were a host congregation. Other conferences I attended were in Calgary, Montreal, and Vancouver. Regional gatherings included ones we hosted here in the fall of 2012 and 2019, and others I attended in Halifax and Montreal. All of these events helped me to build a network of UU contacts across the country and to better understand our movement, best practices of other congregations, and challenges faced by other congregations. At the 2016 conference in Vancouver, I participated in an Indigenous relations workshop called Building Bridges to Better Understanding, an experiential learning activity like the blanket exercise in which some of you may have participated. This inspired me to bring the CUC's Truth, Healing, and Reconciliation curriculum into our congregation as a 4-part adult study in 2017-2018. And it's a good example of how a national event and CUC resources contributed to our congregation. The second way that my sense of belonging to the CUC grew was during my time serving on the FirstU board from 2012 to 2017, including being president for 2 years. It was helpful while I was president to have a supportive and knowledgeable sounding board and consultant outside of our congregation. Among other things, we were dealing with some personnel issues. During the same period, the CUC helped all its member congregations deal with issues related to being a registered charity, such as audits and limitations on political activities. The third way my sense of belonging grew was by serving on the CUC nominating committee from 2018 to 2024, including as chair or co-chair for 4 years. Our role was to find and vet nominees for the CUC Board of Trustees and our own committee. It made good use of the network of Canadian UU contacts I had already established and further expanded that network. It was rewarding to see the diversity of people we nominated, including Chuck, generally be successful in their roles, and quite a few of them are still serving. To conclude, I urge others to consider service beyond our congregation. You will benefit, as I did, our congregation benefits, and the UU movement in Canada benefits. I think it's important to be part of something larger, particularly belonging to the CUC, because one congregation can only do so much on its own. Our congregation has been a consistently strong supporter of the CUC, and I see that as one of our strengths. The CUC needs us, and we need them. And now I'll return the podium to Reverend Eric to conclude this set of reflections on belonging.
At a recent gathering of this congregation's map-making adult exploration class, I shared a bit of my own credo, my own "this I believe" statement. And I think the words originally may have come from Aristotle, that notion that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. But I credit the architect and inventor Buckminster Fuller by repopularizing that phrase and adding the more. Well, that's God. That's the God I believe in. We are more when we are part of something larger than ourselves. I have shared here before some words translated from the German from Goethe. The world is so empty when one thinks only of mountains and rivers and cities. But to know someone who thinks and feels with us, and who, though distant, is close to us in spirit, This makes the earth for us an inhabited garden. The CUC helps make that possible in perhaps subtle ways, but very real ways every day, as Maury and Chuck and Guy have outlined before. Before our service today, I welcomed a father and his daughter. The father is visiting from Thunder Bay. He's a member of our congregation there. Shout out. And he came here to check us out. His daughter lives here. I don't know if she's studying or working, whatever, doesn't matter. We're cousins in faith at the very least, if not outright siblings. This congregation in Ottawa, the country's capital city, is a pivot point. I don't know if all of you realize how important this congregation and the leadership that is brought and fostered here is in the country's scale. Everything that I do for you has been informed by seminary and continuing education with colleagues, with the congregants I've known who have taught me. I keep thinking back, and this deserves longer exegesis, the first time I went to visit the Unitarians in Transylvania, where there have been Unitarians for over 450 years. We entered the little village on a horse-drawn cart. This was a very small rural community. And the whole village came out to greet us. And as we got closer, they started singing Spirit of Life in their native Hungarian. Isten lelke. I'll save the rest. You don't deserve it. But that memory stays with me. And this was in July or August of '98, a little while ago, my friends, a little while ago. And that memory shines for me still as a beacon of a reminder of how connected we are outside the walls of this, our congregation. So I hope you will join me in a few moments in being as generous as you can be to the Canadian Unitarian Council. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll invite the ushers to start passing the baskets. Our congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. We've been able to live into our hopes and dreams because of the generosity of those within and beyond this community. Again, this morning, our collection will be dedicated with 100% of all undesignated donations going to support the work of the CUC through its Sharing the Faith Fund. Whether you're here in Worship Hall or anywhere else, you are a part of this community. We rely on each other to keep this congregation vital and resilient. If you have any questions about how you can give, please go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how you can make a donation or keep up with your pledge. Also, those in Worship Hall this morning can use the QR code on the back of the order of service to make an online donation. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of our larger community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, and loving one another. Now let us sing together once more. Please rise in body or spirit as Jen leads us in singing From You I Receive, which you'll find as number 402 in your gray hymnal. The lyrics will also be on the screen above.
From
Please be seated. Before we close this time of worship and reflection, a reminder that food and household items from our grocery support program are available for anyone who would like some from the room adjacent to Fellowship Hall. The Ajaski Grow Towers are back up in the same room and are ready for harvesting. Enjoy the fresh leafy greens. And a reminder again that our after-service discussion in the lounge will take place just there. And Mia's Indian Cuisine is offering lunch again for sale after the service in Fellowship Hall. Oh. Gotta get my prop. If you are new here, still feel new, or simply looking for a really good conversation during coffee hour, pick up a green mug as you enter Fellowship Hall. If you see someone sporting a green mug, go up to them. Ask them about who they are and what drew them to church today, and get ready for another great conversation. Now, as we prepare to extinguish our chalice, let these words, adapted only slightly from Wayne Arneson, be our guide. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. We are not alone. Our chalice is extinguished, but the spark in our faith are very much alive. Jen, will you please bless us again by leading us in our closing song, Spirit of Life? Please rise. As now we return to the joy and sometimes challenge of helping the world come alive in love, let me say, go in peace, my friends. Go in peace.